Welcome to my channel. Try to hear the latest story.
She said it with this quiet certainty, sitting cross-legged on our worn leather couch, twisting the silver bracelet I'd given her last birthday. My parents adore him. They've always seen him as the perfect match for me. I can't keep pretending that doesn't matter. I won't put you in the middle of that fight forever. Her words landed softly, almost kindly, but they cracked something wide open inside me. We were in the middle of folding laundry, mundane, ordinary Sunday stuff, and suddenly everything felt final. I set down the t-shirt I was holding, looked at her steady green eyes, and simply nodded. "If that's what you've decided," I said, keeping my voice even, "then I won't try to change your mind." She blinked, clearly expecting more resistance, maybe tears or anger. Instead, I stood up, walked to the kitchen, and started making coffee like nothing earth-shattering had just happened. Inside, my chest felt hollow, but I refused to let it show. She watched me for a long moment, then went to the bedroom and began packing. That was 2 years ago. My girlfriend, ex-girlfriend now, was Sophia. We met during our residency at the same hospital in Seattle. I was training in emergency medicine, pulling brutal shifts in the ER, while she was finishing her surgical rotation. She came from a long line of surgeons. Her grandfather founded one of the top private practices in the Pacific Northwest. Her father still ran it, and her mother sat on half a dozen medical foundation boards. I grew up in a small coastal town an hour north, son of a fisherman and a school nurse. Medicine was my way out, my way up, paid for with loans, scholarships, and endless night shifts as an EMT. Sophia never seemed to mind the difference. She laughed at my stories about patching up drunk fishermen, loved that I could cook a decent salmon, and said my calm under pressure was what drew her to me. Our early years felt effortless. We'd collapse together after 30-hour shifts, order Thai food, and fall asleep watching old medical dramas for the irony. I supported her when she decided to join her family's practice instead of pursuing trauma surgery like she'd once dreamed. Something I quietly thought might have been a mistake, but I never pushed. She supported me when I chose to stay in the public hospital system, even though her father kept dropping hints about openings at their elite clinic. The cracks started small at family gatherings in their glass-walled home overlooking Puget Sound. Her father would ask pointed questions about why I hadn't considered private practice. "Public hospitals are noble," he'd say with that polite smile that wasn't a smile. "But the burnout rate is brutal. You could do so much more with the right resources." Her mother would steer conversations toward Ryan, childhood friend, fellow surgeon, son of another prominent medical family. Ryan had joined their practice straight out of residency, was already publishing papers, already being groomed for partnership. He'd show up to barbecues with expensive wine, tell stories about conferences in Switzerland, and Sophia's parents would light up in a way they never did around me. Sophia always defended me at first. "Dad, he's saving lives every day in the ER. That's real medicine." But over time, her defenses grew quieter. She'd come home from Sunday dinners tense, distracted. Once, she mentioned offhand how Ryan had taken her parents to dinner to celebrate closing a big research grant. "It just makes things easier when everyone gets along," she said. Not quite looking at me, I kept quiet, kept working, kept believing that love would be enough. We'd been together 5 years when I proposed. Nothing extravagant, just us on a quiet beach near my hometown at sunset, with a ring I'd saved for carefully. She cried, said yes, kissed me like she meant it. For a few months, things felt solid again. Then the wedding planning started. Her parents offered to host at their home, cover most costs, but only if we did it properly. Big guest list, including all their colleagues and partners from the practice. Ryan was invited, of course. He even offered to help coordinate the medical professionals attending. Sophia accepted gratefully. I watched her slowly drift toward their vision of our future. She'd talk about how nice it would be to work together at the family practice someday, how Ryan had mentioned they were expanding the ER simulation training program. "It could be amazing for your career," she'd say, eyes bright. "Less chaos, better hours, real research opportunities." I reminded her I'd chosen emergency medicine because I thrived in the chaos, because I wanted to serve people who couldn't afford private clinics. She nodded, but I could see the disappointment flicker. The final conversation happened on that Sunday with the laundry. She'd just returned from another family dinner. I could smell the expensive red wine on her breath, see the tension in her shoulders. We sat on the couch, folding clothes in silence for a while before she spoke. "I can't do this anymore," she said quietly. "The constant tension with my parents. It's wearing me down. They love Ryan. They've always loved Ryan. He's part of their world in a way you'll never be. And I hate myself for saying this, but they're my family. I can't cut them out of my life for you." I felt the words settle like stones in my stomach, but I didn't flinch. "So you're choosing them," I said. Not a question. She looked away. "I'm choosing peace. Ryan understands the pressure. He fits. With him, holidays won't be battles. My parents won't be disappointed every time we visit. It's not that I don't love you, but you love the path of least resistance more." Her jaw tightened. "That's unfair, is it?" I stood up slowly. "You've been pulling away for months. Every time you come back from their house, you're a little more distant. You've already made your choice, Sophia. You're just finally saying it out loud." She stood too, arms crossed. "I knew you'd make me the villain. I'm not making you anything. You're doing this to yourself." We stood there in silence for a long moment. Then she went to the bedroom and started packing. I didn't stop her, didn't beg, just helped carry her boxes to her car when she was ready. She paused at the door, looking like she wanted me to say something. Anything. That would give her an excuse to stay that I didn't. "Goodbye, Sophia," I said calmly, and closed the door behind her. That night, I sat in my apartment and felt the full weight of it. 5 years. Countless shifts covered for each other. Dreams we'd talked about building together. Gone because I didn't come from the right family, didn't want the right kind of career. But I didn't call her, didn't text, didn't drive to her parents' house and make a scene. Instead, I started moving forward. I gave notice on our shared lease and found a small one-bedroom closer to the hospital, packed up her remaining things neatly and dropped them at her parents' gate with a simple note. Anything left behind, blocked her number, unfollowed her on everything, deleted our photos slowly, one by one, over weeks. Work became my salvation. I took extra shifts, volunteered for the toughest cases, mentored new residents. The ER chaos that she'd thought I should escape became my refuge. Every life saved, every crisis managed. Proof that I'd chosen the right path. I started running again. Something we'd done together early in our relationship. Long runs along the waterfront at dawn. Clearing my head. Joined a climbing gym with some colleagues. Made new friends who didn't know Sophia, didn't know her family's name in medical circles. The ache was there, especially at night. I'd wake up reaching for her side of the bed. Remember she wasn't there. Feel that hollow space all over again. But I never reached out. About 8 months later, I heard through hospital gossip that Sophia had started dating Ryan almost immediately. They got engaged within a year. Married in a ceremony at her parents' home. Exactly the kind of event they'd wanted for us that I didn't go, of course. Sent a polite card when the invitation arrived, citing scheduling conflicts. Moved on. Life got better. I earned a reputation as one of the steadiest attendings in the ER. Got promoted to assistant director. Bought a small condo with water views, nothing like her parents' mansion, but mine, earned with my own hands. Started dating casually, nothing serious. Enjoyed my freedom. Then, about 6 months ago, 2 years after she'd left, the messages started. First, an email from an address I didn't recognize. Subject line, "Thinking of you." It was her. Short, nostalgic. Remembering our residency days, asking how I was doing. No apology. Just fishing. I didn't respond. A month later, another email. Longer this time. Talking about how hard marriage was. How Ryan worked insane hours. How her parents were always around. Hinting that things weren't what she'd expected. Still no reply from me. Then the calls started. Unknown numbers leaving voicemails. Her voice thinner somehow. I know you probably hate me. I don't blame you. I made a mistake. Can we talk? Just coffee? I deleted them without responding. The escalation came when she showed up at the hospital that I was finishing a shift, heading to the parking garage, when I saw her waiting by my car. She looked different, thinner. Designer clothes that somehow didn't fit right anymore. Eyes red-rimmed. Please, she said as I approached. 5 minutes. I stopped several feet away. Sophia. She took a step closer. I was wrong. So wrong. Ryan, he's different now that we're married. Always working, or when he's home, he's critical. Nothing I do is right. My parents are over constantly, telling me how to fix things, how I should be more supportive of his career. It's suffocating. I waited. I thought it would be easier, she continued, voice breaking. I thought choosing the simple path, the one they approved of. But it's not simple at all. It's worse. You were always so steady, so kind. You never made me feel like I wasn't enough. You made your choice, I said quietly. I know. She wiped her eyes. I know I hurt you terribly. I was weak, scared. But I see now what I gave up. We could try again. I'd leave him. No. The word was calm, final. She stared at me. Just like that. Just like that. You're not even angry. I admitted. For a long time. But I'm not anymore. I'm indifferent. You chose your path, Sophia. Live with it. I walked past her to my car. The final push came from an unexpected source. Her mother got a message through a mutual colleague, then an email directly to my hospital address. Apologetic. Regretful. Ryan had become difficult, demanding, entitled, expecting the family practice to revolve around his ambitions while contributing little. The golden boy had turned out to be more interested in status than substance. We were wrong about you, her mother wrote. You were always so dedicated, so genuine. Sophia's miserable. We all are. Perhaps if you could find it in your heart. I didn't reply. Blocked the address. Went home to my condo, cooked dinner, called a friend about weekend climbing plans. Sophia's life, her family's regrets. They weren't my concern anymore. That I'd built something real in the aftermath. Career I loved. Friends who valued me. A home that was mine alone. Peace that no amount of social approval could buy. Sometimes, late at night, I think about that Sunday with the laundry. How close I came to begging, to fighting for someone who was already gone. I'm glad I didn't. I'm glad I chose silence. I'm glad I chose myself. If you're reading this, Sophia, know that I'm good. Better than good. The life I have now is one I built without compromise, without pretending to be someone I'm not to fit into someone else's world. You chose ease over love. I chose authenticity over approval. And I won.